Let me tell you something real simple that a lot of people don't want to hear, but everybody needs to understand. When somebody breaks your trust, it doesn't just break a moment, it shakes your entire emotional foundation. You start questioning everything. You start replaying conversations. You start asking yourself, how did I miss it? Why didn't I see it sooner? And I need you to understand something right now. Your value did not decrease because somebody failed to protect what you gave them. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Harvey, let me talk to you real straight about something that hits every single human being at some point in their life, and that is trust being broken. Because when somebody breaks your trust, it doesn't just feel like an argument. It doesn't just feel like disappointment. It feels like the ground you were standing on just shifted under your feet. And what I need you to understand right now is that the first mistake people make in that moment is they start focusing on the person who broke it instead of focusing on the person who has to rebuild from Ite, and that's you. See, when trust is intact, love feels safe. You don't overthink every message, you don't question. In every delay, you don't sit there analyzing tone, timing, or silence. You move freely in that relationship because you believe there is honesty holding it together. But the moment that trust breaks, everything changes. Suddenly your peace becomes investigation. Your mind becomes a courtroom. You start replaying conversations like evidence. You start asking yourself questions that have no answers that will ever satisfy your heart. And the worst part, you start thinking that if you just get the right explanation, the pain will disappear. But let me tell you something nobody likes to admit. Understanding why somebody hurt you does not always heal how they made you feel. Sometimes knowing the truth doesn't fix the damage, it just confirms it. And that's where people get stuck. They think closure is something the other person gives them, but real closure is something you give yourself when you decide you are done reopening the wound. Now listen to me carefully. When trust is broken, your energy becomes scattered. You stop living in the present, you start living in fragments of the past. You're no longer responding to today, you are reacting to yesterday. And every reaction pulls you. You deeper in emotional exhaustion. You start overthinking your worth. You start questioning your judgment. You start asking, how did I miss this? Was I not enough? Did I love too much? And I need you to hear this clearly. Someone else's betrayal is not a measurement of your value. It is a reflection of their character, not your worth. But here's where the real shift has to happen. Instead of making the broken trust your center of gravity, you have to make your own healing your priority. Because if you stay focused on the person who broke it, you will always be one step behind your own peace. You will always be waiting for something from the man, apology, an explanation, a moment of regret that may never come in the way you expect. And while you're waiting, life is passing you by. This is why the strongest people in the world are not the ones who never get hurt. The strongest people are the ones who decide that their entire life will not be defined by one moment of betrayal. They take that pain, they acknowledge it, they don't ignore it, but they refuse to build their identity around it. Because once you start identifying as the person who got hurt, you unconsciously keep them. I wound alive. And let me tell you something else people don't talk about enough. When trust is broken, your instinct is to try to fix it externally. You want to talk it out, you want to argue it out, you want to prove your point, you want to make them understand how deeply they affected you. But real healing doesn't come from making them understand. Real healing comes from you deciding you don't need them to understand anymore. That's where your power comes back. Because now your emotional state is no longer dependent on their reaction. You are no longer waiting for their apology to feel okay. You are no longer waiting for their regret to validate your pain. You start to realize something powerful, that your peace was never supposed to be in their hands in the first place. And this is where everything begins to change for you. You stop asking, why did they do this to me? And you start asking, why am I still holding on to something that is hurting me? You stop replaying their actions and you start rebuilding your direction. You stop analyzing their behavior and you start protecting your own energy. Because at the end of the day, trust may be broken, but your life is still intact. Your future is still ahead of you. Your identity is still yours to rebuild. And the moment you shift your focus from what was lost to what you can still create, you step out of victim energy and you step into transformation. And I'll leave you with this truth you need to carry deep in your spirit. Trust may break in a moment, but self-worth is rebuilt in decisions. Every time you choose not to chase, every time you choose not to beg for clarity, every time you choose not to lose yourself trying to fix someone else's mistake, you are rebuilding the most important relationship you will ever have. And that is the one with yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Harvey, let me take you deeper into something most people misunderstand, and that is silence. Because when somebody breaks your trust, your first emotional reaction is noise. You want to talk, you want to explain, you want to confront, you want to ask questions back to back until your heart feels like it has done enough to get relief. But I need you to understand something very clearly. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Silence is strength. And most importantly, silence is the moment where you take your power back. K without even touching the situation anymore. See, when your trust is broken, your emotions are loud. Your thoughts are loud. Your heart is loud. Everything inside you is screaming for resolution, for clarity, for something to make sense of what just happened. And in that state, if you are not careful, you will start reacting instead of responding. And there is a huge difference between the two. Reaction is emotional. Reaction is impulsive. Reaction is you trying to fix pain in the heat of pain. But response is calm. Response is controlled. Response is you choosing yourself even when everything inside you is shaking. Now listen to me carefully. The moment you choose silence, you are no longer feeding the situation. You are no longer giving access to your emotions. Because every time you respond to confusion with more emotion, you are giving that situation more power over your mind. But when you go silent, not as punishment, not as manipulation, but as self-control, you step out of the cycle that keeps you emotionally trapped. Let me explain it like this. When somebody breaks your trust, they expect a reaction. They expect you to call. They expect you to text. To ask questions that keep you emotionally tied to them. Because as long as you are reacting, you are still engaged. And engagement means access. Access means control over your emotional state. But silence closes the door they were using to reach your peace. And this is where people get it wrong. They think silence is about making the other person feel something. Real silence is about making yourself feel less of the chaos. It is not about them missing you. It is about you no longer missing clarity from someone who already showed confusion in their actions. When you choose silence after betrayal, something powerful happens internally. At first, it feels uncomfortable because your mind is used to chaos. Your emotions are used to activity. Your heart is used to seeking resolution. So when you remove yourself from the noise, you will feel the absence of action. But that absence is not emptiness, that is space. And in that space, something very important begins to rebuild. Your self-control. Because let me tell you something about emotional control. If you cannot control your reaction to pain, pain will control your behavior. And that's where people lose themselves. They start sending messages they regret. They start having conversations they should never have had. They start explaining their worth to somebody who already proved they didn't value it correctly. And every time they do that, they feel even more drained. But silence interrupts that cycle. Silence forces reflection. Silence forces distance. Silence forces you to sit with your thoughts instead of throwing them at the person who hurt you. And in that space, you start realizing something very important. You don't need constant answers to move forward. You need clarity within yourself, not validation from someone else. Now, I know what people say. They say, if I stay silent, they will think I don't care. But let me correct that thinking for you. Silence is not about showing you don't care. Silence is about showing you care enough about yourself not to keep reopening the wound. Because every conversation you force in confusion is like picking at a healing scar. You think you are fixing it, but you are actually slowing down your recovery. And here is the real truth. Silence changes how you see yourself before it changes how they see you. Because when you stop over-explaining, you start. RT, respecting your own emotional boundaries. When you stop overreacting, you start building emotional discipline. When you stop chasing clarity from someone inconsistent, you start trusting your own judgment again. And let me take it deeper. Silence also exposes truth. Because when you are always talking, always reacting, always engaging, you never get to see the full picture. But when you become silent, people reveal themselves through their absence, through their behavior, through their lack of effort, and that truth becomes clearer than any conversation you could have forced. But the most powerful part of silence is this: it gives you space to detach emotionally from the version of the story you were holding on to. Because sometimes you are not just attached to the person, you are attached to the idea of what you thought they were. And silence slowly breaks that illusion. It allows reality to replace expectation. And once that happens, your energy shifts. You stop feeling desperate for closure. You stop feeling anxious about replies. You stop checking for signs. You start returning to yourself. And that is the moment where healing quietly begins, without announcement, without drama, without explanation. So understand this very clearly. Silence after broken trust is not you losing the battle. Silence is you stepping out of the battlefield completely. Because not every fight deserves your energy. Not every betrayal deserves your voice. Some situations only deserve your absence. And when you master that silence, you don't just break the cycle, you break the emotional hold it had on you. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Harvey, let me take you into something that most people struggle with after betrayal. And that is the moment they still feel connected to someone who already disconnected from them emotionally. Because when trust is broken, The hardest part is not just the event itself, it is the attachment that remains after the damage is done. You can know someone lied to you. You can know someone disrespected you. You can even see the truth clearly, but your heart doesn't always disconnect at the same speed your mind does. And that gap right there is where most people suffer the most. So let's talk about something real. Healing does not begin when the other person changes. Healing begins when you decide to stop emotionally participating in what is already broken. And that decision is not easy because your emotions are trained to seek comfort and familiarity. Even if that familiarity caused pain, your mind says, at least I know this person. At least I understand this connection. But I need you to hear this clearly. Familiar pain is still pain, even if it feels normal. Now, when trust is broken, people make a critical mistake. They try to repair something emotionally that requires distance first. You cannot fix clarity and confusion. You cannot restore respect in chaos. And you cannot rebuild trust while still emotionally depending on the person who destroyed it. That is like trying to heal a wound while still holding the knife. And this is where emotional detachment becomes your strongest form of self-respect. Not detachment out of anger, not detachment to punish, but detachment to protect your identity. Because every time you stay emotionally tied to someone inconsistent, you slowly start losing pieces of your own emotional stability. You start overthinking. You start doubting your instincts. You start questioning your worth. And the worst part is you don't even realize it is happening in real time. Let me explain it deeper. After bet, rail, your mind tries to negotiate with reality. You start thinking things like, maybe it wasn't that bad, or maybe I'm overreacting, or maybe if I communicate better, things will change. And that negotiation keeps you stuck in a loop where you are always trying to fix something that the other person is not even trying to repair. And that imbalance is what drains your emotional energy. So here is where your power comes back. You stop negotiating. You stop minimizing your pain. You stop adjusting your boundaries just to keep someone comfortable who already made you uncomfortable. And instead, you start observing actions without emotional distortion, because actions never lie. Words can confuse, promises can fade, explanations can shift, but behavior stays consistent. And when you start observing instead of reacting, something powerful happens. You begin to see clearly again. You see who was truly invested. You see who was emotionally present. You see who only valued your presence when it was convenient. And that clarity, even though painful, is what pulls you out of illusion. Now, let me go deeper into something most people avoid. Their attachment after betrayal is not just out love, it is also about identity. You don't just miss the person, you miss the version of yourself that existed before the disappointment. You miss how you used to feel when things were good. You miss the hope you attached to that connection. And that is why letting go feels like losing more than just a relationship. It feels like losing a future you imagine. But here is the truth you need to hear. You are not losing a future, you are releasing an illusion. Because anything built on broken trust was never a stable foundation for your peace anyway. It was temporary comfort disguised as long-term security. And the longer you stay emotionally invested in that illusion, the longer you delay your own emotional recovery. So what do? You shift your identity from someone who is waiting to someone who is rebuilding. You stop asking, will they change? And you start asking, what do I need to rebuild in myself right now? Because your healing is not dependent on their awareness set, is dependent on your decision to no longer stay in emotional dependency. And here is where strength really shows up. Real strength is not when you fight for someone to stay. Real strength is when you stop fighting for clarity from someone who keeps creating confusion. Because confusion is not love. Inconsistency is not care. Mixed signals are not depth. Those are just emotional patterns that keep you attached without giving you stability. And the moment you stop responding to confusion, you start creating clarity in your own life. You begin to sleep better. You begin to think clearer. You begin to detach emotionally from outcomes you cannot control. And slowly your energy shifts from survival mode to self-rebuilding mode. That is the moment where everything changes. Because now, instead of asking why someone betrayed your trust, you start understanding why you need to protect it more fiercely in the future. Instead of trying to fix what broke, you start strengthening what remains you. And when that happens, you don't just recover from betrayal, you evolve from it. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Harvey, let me take you into the final layer of this truth. Because after trust is broken, there's something deeper that most people don't even realize they are dealing with, and that is the rebuilding of self-respect. Not just healing the pain, not just calming the emotions, but rebuild. Learning to see yourself after disappointment, because betrayal doesn't only damage what happened between two people, it tries to damage how you see your own judgment, your own worth, and your own emotional intelligence. And if you are not careful, you will start blaming yourself for someone else's decision. Now I need you to hear this clearly. One of the most dangerous things you can do after betrayal is internalizing someone else's lack of character as your lack of value. Because what happens next is subtle. You start over-explaining your feelings. You start justifying why you were hurt. You start trying to prove that your pain is valid. But listen to me, pain does not need approval. Your emotions do not need permission. And your worth does not increase or decrease based on how someone treated you. But here is where the real transformation begins. You start understanding that self-respect is not something you ask for it's something you demonstrate through your decisions. Every time you choose not to go back to what broke you, you are rebuilding your dignity. Every time you choose not to re-enter confusion, you are strengthening your emotional boundaries. Every time you choose see yourself over closure, you are teaching your heart that peace matters more than answers. And this is where most people struggle because closure feels like something they need from the other person. But I'm telling you, closure is not a conversation, that is a decision. It is the moment you stop reopening emotional doors that life already closed through experience. And when you stop reopening those doors, something very powerful happens. You start becoming emotionally independent again. Now let's go deeper. After trust is broken, you don't just lose confidence in a relationship, you start losing confidence in your own perception. You start questioning your intuition. You start saying things like, I should have seen it coming, or how did I miss the signs? And slowly you begin doubting your ability to choose the right people. But let me correct that thinking for you right now. You didn't fail because you trusted. You learned because you trusted the wrong consistency. And that is a huge difference. Because trusting is not the problem. Trusting without observing patterns is where the lesson is. And once you understand that, you stop punishing yourself for being human. You stop punishing yourself for believing in someone. Instead, you start refining your standards. You start paying attention to behavior over words. You start valuing consistency over intensity. Now, here's where your emotional strength is truly tested. After betrayal, your ego wants revenge. Your emotions want validation. Your heart wants fairness. But growth asks for something different. Growth asks you to rise above reaction, because reacting keeps you tied to the situation. But rising above it breaks the emotional loop completely. And that is where real power is born. Not in proving a point, not in getting even, not in making someone realize what they lost, but in becoming so emotionally grounded that their behavior no longer controls your inner world. That is when you shift from being emotionally reactive to emotionally sovereign. Now let me take you deeper into identity. Because after betrayal, the biggest shift is not what you lost externally, it is what you rebuild internally. You start realizing that the version of you that tolerated inconsistency is not the version you want to carry forward. You start realizing that the version of you that overgave, over-explained, over-invested emotionally needs to evolve. And that evolution is uncomfortable because it requires letting go of emotional habits that once felt like love but were actually self-abandonment. And this is where self-respect becomes your foundation. You stop negotiating your boundaries. You stop lowering your standards just to keep someone close. You stop confusing emotional attachment with emotional safety. And slowly your identity begins to stabilize again. Because here is the truth: when you rebuild self-respect after betrayal, you stop being emotionally available to confusion. You stop entertaining mixed signals. You stop making excuses for inconsistency, not because you became cold, but because you became clear. And clarity is one of the highest forms of emotional intelligence. And once clarity enters your life, everything shifts. Your thoughts become calmer. Your decisions become stronger. Your emotional reactions become less intense. You are no longer living in survival mode, you are living in awareness. And that awareness protects you more than any emotional reaction ever could. So understand this final truth. The real victory after broken trust is not making someone regret losing you. The real victory is becoming someone who no longer loses themselves in situations that require self-abandonment. Because once you reach that level, you are no longer defined by what broke you, you are defined by what you built after it.